Hello guys, and welcome to another episode of Reecee News. And first up we have today is some information that was found about Kid Kirby. And if you don't know about Kid Kirby, basically that was a cancelled SNES game that was going to release in 1995, but was cancelled and it was going to use the SNES mouse. And I think it was cancelled due to the slow sales of the SNES mouse and like some troubled development history. I'm not sure exactly what it was, but basically we actually got some new information about it, like including some new renders, like there's one of Kirby and one of King Dedede, and there's also like some like images kind of depicting what the controls were going to be like for the game, and looks pretty interesting. And also there's some pages from the manual of Kid Kirby that were actually kind of shown off recently, and actually kind of discovered recently, and I think that's really cool because some of it actually reveals the story of Kid Kirby, which is really interesting, and it's something that we haven't known about before. And like just a lot of information is coming out of this game, and it's really interesting. It's just a really interesting piece of Kirby history, because Kirby has had a lot of cancelled games, like even in that era, like on the Nintendo 64 with Kirby Bowl 64, the sequel to Dream Course, and then Kirby Air Ride 64, which was converted into Kirby Air Ride on the GameCube, and then there's also Kirby GCN. So it's really interesting that there's a lot of cancelled Kirby games, and Kid Kirby is definitely pretty interesting too, and it came out in that era where there was a lot of Kirby spin-offs and different things, and this one definitely stands out since it was being developed by a Western developer, the one that eventually became Rockstar, the developers of GTA, and just overall looks a lot different from a lot of other Kirby-related products. So I think that's why it's so interesting, and it's just such an obscure and weird part of Kirby. It's just like really interesting and intriguing to look into, and I really hope we get more information about it in the future. Maybe even more assets from the game, like, or even a prototype would be really interesting to see sometime in the future. But for now, like the various renders and different tidbits on the story are all really interesting. So next up, there's going to be a new Nintendo 64 game for Nintendo Switch Online through the library and everything, and it's going to be Pokemon Snap this time, and that's going to release on June 24th next week. So I'm really looking forward to it. I actually have an original copy of Pokemon Snap. It's a really fun game. Even though it's short, it's really replayable, and I think it's perfect for the Switch because new Pokemon Snap is already on the Switch, and it's great to have both games on there because they're both really fun games. And the Nintendo Switch also has like the capture button and everything, so you could basically capture the photos you take in the game and everything, and I think that's really nice. But this is actually the last Nintendo 64 game that was originally announced in September during the Direct when they originally shown off the Nintendo 64 games, because there were a few like upcoming Nintendo 64 games that they showed off there, like with updates and everything, like Paper Mario, Banjo-Kazooie, Kirby 64, and then the last one out of that batch that's releasing is Pokemon Snap. So I'm not sure what they're gonna do next. They might leave us in the dark and just release them like each month without any indication of what games are coming next. I mean, they have been doing that for a while, which was weird, because before, I think, Banjo-Kazooie or Majora's Mask, I think around that time, before that time, they were like letting us know which game came out the next month, and then also in September they kind of gave us a very vague roadmap, but not really like a roadmap because it didn't really say when they would release and which months they would release, but just kind of like a batch of games that we would get next. So we're not really sure what games we're gonna get next, because I know there is Banjo-Tooie, there's Smash, There's the Mario Party games, there's Wave Race 64, 1080 snowboarding. There's a lot of games, even like Cruisin' USA and different things. I know there's a lot of them that I'm not thinking of, but there's a lot of Nintendo 64 games that they could still put on the Switch, and we'll just have to see what's next. I know there's like that data mined list. I think there was like 40 games, I'm not sure, 30 something, I forgot what it was, but it was a while ago. There was a data mine, and there were a lot more games that were kind of listed there, so we'll have to see which ones we'll get. So anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more. Make sure to check out my Discord server and Twitter if you want to. Goodbye.